Hi Annette, do you want to start by telling us a little bit about where you grew up and what that area was like?
I grew up in the outer area of Leeds that were quite poor. I came from a working class family, Irish Catholic family, quite a large family, and it was hard times. You know, Mum always stayed at home, Dad worked. I think the expectations at that time was that people like us didn't really go to university. I kind of struggled through primary school, I got through high school. I was maybe always bottom of the top sets at high school. I never really reached my full potential. Enjoyed education, but I think the expectations was that when you left school, you went and worked. So university was never really an option for me.
And what did you do after leaving school?
After leaving school, I did go to a college for 2 years. It was a office practice college. It wasn't really for me. At school, we never really got any careers guidance. It was boys did apprenticeships, girls went into office work. It never really worked out for me. I did my training at college, and I did then go work in different offices around Leeds. I did insurance work. I worked for GE Capital Bank for 12 years, doing coaching and training, but going back to further education was never really an option at that point in my life.
And what learning have you done as an adult?
As an adult, the learning that I've done, once my children got a little bit older and I felt I was in a good place where I could go back to study, I started to revisit my local college. I had got a few qualifications at school, but I felt that I'd lost all my confidence. So I went back to my local college and I did English, GCSE, I did my maths, I did a preschool practice qualification, and then from that I went on to do the teaching assistant courses, NVQ and an NVQ3 qualification.
And at what point did you start to think that university could be a realistic option for you, and what contributed to this?
I never really thought about university being a realistic option for me until I was doing my NVQ2 at Deacon House, which is a local college, and two of the ladies from Leeds University came in to visit and do a talk and invited us to a taster day at Leeds University. I never really thought that was ever in my reach, but I went along to the taster day and I absolutely loved it, and I found that I could sit in the room and do the work, and I did understand it, but still at that point my confidence levels probably still weren't where they should be. And I carried on my education in college, and then when it came round to doing NVQ3, I went for another taster day at Leeds University, and that's when I decided that university was for me.
And since you've been here, how would you describe your experience of university so far?
Since I've been at university, it's changed everything in my life in a positive way. It's enhanced my family life, how I am with my children, their learning. It's opened other doors that it could ever. It's opened other doors for me, as in terms of employment. Before I started university, I hadn't been in a workplace for 7 years, and that was due to family circumstances, and I had a child with a disability. Once I started university, I started doing the volunteering work in schools, and then I went on to work for Home Start, which is supporting outreach work in the communities. So being at university has opened new opportunities for me, hopefully to get me back into full-time employment.
And is there anything in particular that you feel, well, tell us about being a learning champion and what that has involved for you, the kind of work you've done.
Being a learning champion, I was first asked to do it my first year, and I thought, what can I really bring? And then I started to go round to all the different places and offer support. I've been into local colleges, and I've met people from all different walks of life, and I've found that I've been able to empower them to go back to learning, or even if they're not ready now, to start thinking about in the future. What it's personally done for me is given me confidence in my own abilities, in what I can offer to them in terms of employment.
And when you're telling your story as a learning champion to some of the groups, has reflecting on your past experience benefited you or influenced you in any way?
When I've been telling my learning journey to other members of groups when I go out as a learning champion, I think it's really inspired other people, because people can identify with me. I've got 3 children, aged 14, 11 and 18 is my oldest, and my youngest child, she's got a disability. It was so difficult, my whole life changed, I couldn't do the job that I had been doing, and I had to go back and retrain basically. So by being a learning champion, I think people can identify with me. You know, I'm there, I'm a real person, I'm there to ask questions. You know, they ask me things like, how do I manage with time, and how do I find studying, what sort of support do we have. I think a lot of people, I do get approached by quite a few people because of my family situation.
And do you feel that the Learning Champion work has helped your personal development in any way, or your employability skills for your own future?
I think being a learning champion has enabled me to have more confidence in myself. When I started at university, I don't really think that I thought that I was able to do this, and I think by being a learning champion, it's taught me that I am good enough, and that if I can, anybody can. And going out into the community and being able to empower other people, it's shown me that when I go to an interview with an employer, I can talk about my experiences, what I've done, and it's showing employers that although I was out of the workplace for a little while, I've still continued my learning journey, and I have continued to better myself.
And do you feel that your involvement as a learning champion has affected anyone else around you, such as your friends, family, the wider community?
Being a learning champion has affected people around me, such as family and friends. My family, my daughters, it's inspired them. I mean, my oldest child is due to go to university. It's inspired her to find out what opportunities are at university, what she could be doing. It's inspired their learning. They're interested in what I do. Sometimes they come with me to events, so at a very young age they've learned about the student life, and they feel comfortable with going in that building. It's not out of my family's reach anymore. My friends are really, really quite proud of me, and they look to me for inspiration. But I find by being a learning champion, it isn't just something that I do when I'm asked to do it, to go to a certain event. It's something that I do now. I am a learning champion, it's part of my life. So when I'm out and about visiting different groups with my family, especially my youngest child who's got a disability, I come across all different sorts of people that lives have changed, and I feel like I can really empower those people to go back to work and to really have a future.